can never do it like I. When you see man pull up and slide, man stepped in a room with legends, Rio and Steve, you know it's a vibe. Check the podcast, what you wanna know? Don't ask me, go and ask Joe. If you're talking Premier League, he's on the front line and I gotta go. It's a vibe with five, and you already know what it is. It's a vibe with five, and you already know what it is. Vibe with five, and you already know what it is. It's a vibe with five, and you already know this.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's episode of Vibe with Five. You got here myself, Joe Beya, celebrating the England win, and of course you got Ferdinand. Show them your kit, please, sir. Come on, my guy. You're rolling them out.
This is what we're saying.
Yes. And then you got here, what's that? Mexico. Stephen Howson representing Mexico today. He loves being that guy, Rio. Like, we did a live post-match yesterday. And
I watched it.
What were your thoughts on the live that me and Steve did yesterday after England beat Senegal 3-0?
It was more interesting than the game, wasn't it?
I thought Steve was so negative, man. He's so negative. I don't understand it. I don't know what you want. Like, as England fans, yeah? As football fans, sorry. Steve, I don't know why you're so negative. I can't get my head around it.
I'm not an England fan, so I'm coming at it from an objective. Like you lunatics just singing "It's Coming Home" every 5 seconds. Like, okay, I'm actually seeing it for what it is.
Let me I'll go through my day yesterday. Yeah, so yesterday I went and watched France play yesterday before the England game. France, I had them down as one of my favourites. Bearing in mind they've got 5 of their starters not there now, right? So they're a weakened France team. And I hold zero amounts of fears. Well, one fear is Mbappe. Anything else, I don't hold. On the back of what I saw yesterday in that game in the stadium, they didn't show me any progressive combination football through the pitch to get through the pitch to get to Mbappe. They rely on individuals to get through the pitch only. They have no idea how to press a team. They don't press. They just retreat. They don't press anywhere on the pitch as a team. They played with a real lack of intensity. And there's 2 ways you look at this. Was it just an off day like England had against America, the way that they performed? Or is this them? Are they just there solely relying on Mbappe? They have an individual in Mbappe who can absolutely take a game by the scruff of the neck like he did yesterday. He took that game and said, listen, this is my game. I'm in devastating form. I want to light this World Cup up, and I'll do it at will. If England can contain him, the way that they're playing, I don't see it being a problem against France. I think we'll beat them by 2 goals.
Did we watch the same game yesterday? Like, don't get me wrong. I am optimistic about England, right? And I do agree in some of your parts. Like, I don't think they press too much as a team. And yeah, they are a little bit more reliant on individuals. But I'll tell you what, they played well yesterday, man. They really did. So that's why I'm wondering if we saw the same game, because
they're going to give you a chance.
We watched a different game, though. We watched a different game.
Poland had chances. I was there. And at 0-0, Poland probably could have been the ones that opened the scoring. But that was what was... And the same happened in the England game.
Senegal, yeah.
Yeah, the same happened in the England game. Senegal were pushing and probably should have scored. England went up the pitch and actually scored. And you got to give them credit for that, so I will do. But the same thing happened in the France game. Poland were pushing and probably should have scored. And then France went up the other end of the pitch and scored. And I think in these games, that's really been taking the wind out of the teams that have conceded. Because from there, you can almost see them deflate and just go, oh.
Yeah, but prior to that, France had chances, man. I was watching the game. Kylian was obviously the danger man, but then you've got, I think Dembele didn't have a great game, but he's always a threat. Yeah, Giroud, mate, he can get a goal from anywhere. You know what I mean? Rabiot yesterday, solid performance in the middle. Griezmann pulling the strings. Rio, I'm sorry, man. We've got to. You're talking like France or like Senegal, like it's going to be some.
I'm just talking about what I saw yesterday. You have to bear in mind as well, by the way, like, all right, Mane, Gay and Kayate maybe would start. I'm not sure Kayate, but Gay and Mane would start. England played against the African champions, by the way. They are the African nations champions. They're not any team. They're the African nations. So they're playing against a team that know how to win a competition, right? France played against Poland, possibly one of the worst teams I've seen in the tournament. They were outside of maybe like the Qatari. They were so poor Yesterday they turned up. Yeah, they were better than we've seen them, but they have been so poor in this tournament. It's been a joke. And before France scored, for the first 30 minutes, they looked like the team were going to score the goals.
Yeah, but that can happen though, because if you look at England, I'm not saying that England were weak, but for the first 30 minutes, England couldn't really unlock Senegal either.
Well, Beya and Ndiaye were both causing England loads of problems. Ndiaye especially, I thought, was causing loads of problems in between the lines for England. If that's Griezmann, I think that's a goal.
They could have had a goal. Senegal could have had a goal, like with the VAR decision.
The first 30 minutes of both teams, they were a bit shaky. Both teams, France and England.
It's been a whole second half tournament, hasn't it? Mm. England did well to be 2-0 up, and I think 2-0 up at half time. That was all she wrote.
Yeah.
But most of this tournament's been a second half tournament, so you can understand teams
That's
going,
true, you know,
like quite defensive, stay in the fight almost till half time, and then see what happens.
Right, Senegal, whatever you say, England are the better team. I don't care. France have the best individual. England have the better team, 100%.
Are you working that game next week?
No.
Oh, you're gonna have to come with it then. You have to come and sit next to me so I can just watch you watch this game next week as it all falls apart.
England are gonna. I think England are gonna win the World Cup. I
hope you're right, bro. I really hope you're right.
Do you know what, Rio? If they do, they've absolutely deserved it because they're gonna have to beat France. Then it's either Spain or Portugal, probably, and then it's probably a Brazil or Argentina in the final. So if they've got through those teams, then fair play. I'll sing it's coming on.
The only team that I think can go toe-to-toe with us is Brazil. I think they've got the personality and the characters and the experienced players and the robustness to go, come on then, let's go toe-to-toe. And they could possibly push us back because they're the way that the Brazilians are and the way that they play and the team that they have. They've got hardened European-based players with that bit of Samba flair. But outside of that, and they play like a team. All the others, I see weaknesses all over the place in all the other teams.
Listen, I'm with you, innit? Obviously, I'm a little bit less optimistic than you, just a little bit. So before I move on to the individual players, are you telling me now that England are better than Brazil?
I didn't say that. I said they're the team.
I'm only asking.
They're the team that I would be the most have any fear about or any reservations and saying because they could come and roll their sleeves up and go toe to toe. I just see us physically dominating every team. Listen, football's just not about physicality. Spain would pose problems, but I just feel that yes, physically we would overpower them and overrun them, but we've also got decisive decision makers. Bellingham yesterday, what he'd done yesterday. I've not seen a 19-year-old young midfielder come into a tournament and absolutely dominate a game at both ends, either defensively, retrieving the ball, winning the ball back more than anybody, but then also deciding the game with the right decision, the right pass at the right time with the right weight in 2 goals. It's like ridiculous. What?
Yesterday's game really suited him. I thought America-Wales games was a little bit slower tempo, whereas it was a quick tempo against Senegal. I think he just thrived in it.
Mate, he's an animal. Animal. Yeah. We said before, like what is it? There's no midfielders that I've seen for England in my lifetime that are doing what he's doing. Running Champions League games at the top level and running World Cup games. It's a joke for England.
Brian Robson sort of tackle.
I don't know. Both ends. Mate, he's anything he wants to be. I've said that before. I've spoken to England coaches that had him as a kid in the youth teams. He's as good as defensive midfielder as he is the attacking midfielder. He can do it all. It's just going to be interesting to see how his career pans out. Where's he go? What's his price now? What is Jude Bellingham's price now?
No one argues with 150, right? That sounds like a bargain even. Do you know what I mean? I say around 150. Where's he going? Places for me. I'm gonna ask the audience to let us know in the comments where is Jude Bellingham going. But I say Rio, Real Madrid, or Man City. They're the only 2 places. And I reckon I want him to go Madrid.
Pep Guardiola signed a new deal, and that means especially if they don't win the Champions League this year, he goes there with a mindset: I am going to be the man that brings you the Champions League. That's how I think he's moving. That's how I think he rolls.
Do you reckon he's going to City?
I think he will, yeah. I just think he'll say, listen, I've got a couple of mates there, English boys. I'm an English lad. I can go Madrid in 5 years.
But I reckon he's like a superstar, such a superstar that he might think I'm a Galactico. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and if let's just
there's
say,
no rush.
if let's just say, I don't know,
He's 19.
If let's just say Mbappe decides to leave in a year or two or whatever, he links up with Vinny Jr. and then you've got that crazy attacking trio. It's mad. It's mad.
I don't know. I just think he thinks, man. You know what? I think he thinks, listen, man, I'm a superstar. I'm going to go and win the league and the Premier League because I'm an English-born boy. And then I'll go Madrid and I'll do the same there in a few years. But he's got the mad thing is he's got the choice.
Not now.
The great thing is he has the absolute choice and the pick of what he wants to do. There'll be clubs queuing up, we know that. And you know what? Yesterday, just last point on England,
yeah.
Southgate is getting all these decisions right. Like when the team sheet came out yesterday, who had Henderson in their team? No one. Who had Rashford playing? Everyone.
Not me.
That doesn't mean that he couldn't have still got it right by picking that system and those players, though, does it?
He was doing this yesterday on the live, Ria.
Yeah, but you know what? That's irrelevant. He got it right. That's it.
Okay.
No one's saying anything else is wrong. He got it right.
5 minutes with me yesterday saying, "Oh yeah,
but I can't be asked to argue with it because
but
you still could have seen
that. But that point's irrelevant though. Like you can talk about if buts and maybes. Shout out Mr. Redmond, but he got the decision right. He made this decision. He played Saka. He played Henderson. Both impacted the game with goals. So you can't say, yeah, but he could have gone better. We won 3-0. That's it. There's nothing else to say, is there?
Thank you.
I'll say if he goes back foot and doesn't play Rashford next week, I don't understand it.
Listen, none of us are in a position to question Sir Gareth Southgate at the moment. None of us.
Because Southgate can't be questioned.
Yeah, honestly. Wait, before we do move on, Rio, Harry Kane finally off the mark, but a brilliant performance as well. Man of the match.
Yeah.
Overall, he was given.
Who gave him man of the match?
He got Budweiser man of the match, yeah.
Wow. They just must have wanted a photo opportunity because Bellingham was a standout player.
Yeah.
Kane played well though.
No, he played very well, and his involvements in the goal.
That's why I think it's
Foden
crying
as
out
well.
for Rashford because Kane comes in, he gets on the halfway line, he turns and he's got that range in him, he's got that spray of passes in him, but he's passing it to people in between the lines. If you want to be a threat, you got to get in behind them.
Yeah, I agree with that point with Steve, but you can't say, it's all wrong when they're winning 3-0.
Yeah, this is what I do, really.
And also Foden, who's the player who would probably not be playing in one of those positions that he's talking about, has 2 assists. Tidy. What more do you want?
Do you know what he done yesterday?
He dropped Marcus after 2 goals.
You know what he done yesterday? Yeah, if you're Marcus, your head is flying off. It's flown off the nest, 100%. I get that. But in a team win 3-0 when you can't argue. But what he did do yesterday and why Henderson plays is because what he's noticed that if I can release Bellingham, he is an absolute monster. And that's what he's done. He's got Henderson with as the energy and the legs in there pressing, with Declan Rice behind, and he just said to Bellingham, go on, do your stuff, son. And he delivered.
You see where I got in the mix yesterday?
Yeah, Senegal, man. I wanted to see your moves. Have you got it on camera? I need to see if you've got the rhythm, man.
Nah, I was holding the camera. I was on it.
The shoulders, just your shoulders moving, yeah.
Yeah, mate. I was having a go though. Honestly,
I can't
sitting with him in the boring side like this. I don't watch football like this. I have to get up.
Nah,
what's the atmosphere like, guys? What's the atmosphere like in the stadium?
Senegal side was popping. Like,
was it?
I can't believe I thought he went to go get some food, yeah, because he kept talking about the Senegal fans, saying like they were like performing the whole game. They were absolutely fantastic.
Absolute cardio machines,
playing their songs. Like seriously, at one point I turned around to see Steve and I said, "Are they going to be doing that the whole game?" And they really did. And he went off, took his jacket. Next thing you know, he pings us pictures and videos. I'm in. And you just see Steve dancing. It's all over the 5 socials. I put it on my socials. Honestly, you did really well there.
I'm not coming to the World Cup to just sit with you. No offense.
No, listen,
listen. I'm gonna go and get in the mix. We did it against Uruguay. I was sitting in a boring end, and there was a bit of a section of the South Korea fans that was having it, and I was like, right, I'm getting in there.
Did you go?
Yeah, we went and got in the mix, didn't we? So
Oh,
me and Ronaldo went and got in the mix there.
Yeah.
And then last night it was like, right, okay, where am I going here?
You did well.
I'm getting right in the mix. Joe, with the guys that are all painted,
Yeah,
and all the drums.
honestly,
Right
it
in
was.
the mixer with all that.
It
You know
was.
what?
It was
I
beautiful.
have to say, the Argentina fans have been the best fans here by a mile.
Really?
It's unreal. Oh, mate, if you can get to an Argentina game, but listen, they feel the whole. It's like being in Buenos Aires. It's unbelievable. They're the best fans at the state of the World Cup.
Best fans, and the privilege that they've got watching a player of this generation that's just lighting it up. I mean, so lucky to watch Lisandro Martinez up close, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Messi for a second. Actually, that's a great segue. He scored in his 1,000th game as they beat Australia. Right. He's now got 789 goals, 348 assists. He's overtaken Maradona to become Argentina's second highest goal scorer at a World Cup.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Only Gabriel Batistuta has the most goals in a World
goal.
Cup, which is 10 goals. Messi's got 9. Maradona's got 8.
Batty goal.
Rio, talk to us about I can't call him El Phenomenon because that's reserved for R9. Talk to us about the alien that is Lionel Messi.
He should have had 350 assists because he put 2 on a plate and said to Martinez, "Go finish your dinner, son," and he fluffed his lines.
Yeah.
He was playing like yesterday. I said the most like yesterday I said the most devastating performance was Kylian Mbappe's in the tournament, the most explosive. But the best performance was still Messi's. He was absolutely sublime. The way that he was just ghosting past players, teasing players, just lending the ball out. First 35 minutes, you could have, if you'd have been well within your rights to bring him off. He kept giving it away. But then as soon as he scored and the game opened up a bit, mate, and then he just said, you know what, I'm going to end this game. I've got Martinez needs a bit of confidence. I'm going to do all I can to draw 4 or 5 players to me, then just give him a bit of space and just load him up. And he was like an older school kid in the playground, just teasing the other kids with his own ball and saying, I'll let you have it when I want. It was a joke. It was like, and I was sitting there, I lost my voice almost after the game because I was screaming so much at some of the stuff he was doing. And the crowd, the way that they respond to him every time he does something is like, I've not seen that before in a stadium. And I've been and watched so many players over the years. And what the reaction that he gets from the fans, I know, listen, it was like 90% Argentina fans in there, but they absolutely love this kid like a god.
I think it's set up in it for a Brazil-Argentina semi-final. Listen, I got 2 kidneys. I'm willing to let one of them go so I can get in that ground for that.
You're just something else, you are.
Mate, tonight I'm going to Brazil, and you know what I'm doing, mate.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm going Portugal tomorrow as well. So we're both going Portugal as well tomorrow, innit?
Oh, I can't wait for tonight.
Have you got a Portugal shirt?
Yeah, I have, but I washed it, and I got the away one. It's the cream one that's got the green and the red on it, and it's just all run.
Man, if you see his shirt here, it's all mad at the moment, if I'm honest with you.
So I got the Brazil R9 for tonight. I am getting, I believe the term is, right in the mixer.
Okay, Rio, before we start wrapping up, I want to bring it back to England quickly. Kyle Walker, I don't think he had the best of games yesterday. Understandable. He hasn't played a lot of football. Has he shown enough to keep Kylian quiet in the France game?
He's the only one with the tools to do it. If he's going to go 1v1. Yesterday, Matty Cash.
He's going to have to ice his ankles, by the way.
Yeah, he got put through the ringer a few times, but he stuck with it. He took the ball off Kylian a few times. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't all one-sided or one-way traffic. But Mbappe scores 2 goals, and he plays on that side of the pitch. So, but Kyle Walker, he's got the experience, man. That is going to be a key battle in the pitch, and a fit Kyle Walker, I'd say I'd go. You know what? I'd back him to be able to in a one-off game have a chance of stopping Kylian Mbappe. With the injury, it's going to worry me a little bit, but it's not a one-man job, and I think that's an important factor in that you set your team up to be able to accommodate someone like Kylian Mbappe with bodies crowding at his area and not giving him a lot of space. But then you look at the game against that he had the other day, and against Poland, he had no space for that second goal. The ball's come into him. He's let it run across his body and just whipped it in the top corner. So The guy's devastating from all over the park. But
how do you stop him?
Well,
I'm
gonna go one further. So that entire you've got Dembele who's going left or right of you. You've got Giroud who you give an inch and he's taking a shot. You've got Mbappe on the left-hand side who's just going to absolutely rinse you. And then you've got Griezmann propping up in behind. What are you looking for from a back four to try and contain that lot?
Well, one thing you can't do is you can't allow Mbappe to keep getting the ball on the transition. So that's where I think Jordan Henderson probably comes in terms on that right-hand side, in not overcommitting himself. And it'll be stopping the source into Mbappe. I think that's a massive element of
France. It makes sense.
Pardon?
I got no problem with him going back foot against France. I think that makes sense. I don't think you can go toe to toe with France. I think you've probably got to play on the counter. I wouldn't even be surprised if he plays straight at the back.
No.
He hasn't done it.
I would go for France.
Think about it. You play Kyle Walker on the right-hand side of the three. You play Trippier, which gives you, or Trent, which gives you an attacking outlet and frees them up from the defensive responsibility. But if you need to, you've got someone who can double up with you on Mbappe on that side.
No.
I don't think you're wrong. I just don't see him doing it because he hasn't done it. I'm not saying it's a bad shout.
Rashford, and you've got that little pivot, bosh.
Mate, you're saying let's go on the back foot against France, who are missing Kante, Kimpembe, Pogba, Benzema. Are you winding me up? No.
Nope.
Can't accept that. These three lions are on the front foot. That's what we need. We need them on the front foot. Go and get him. Go on, Declan. Release him. Jordan, go and get him. Go on, Jude. Go on, Jude. Smash him, Jude. Give it to Harry. Go on, Rashford. Go on, Shaky. Go on,
please.
We can't have this. We can't have this. We can't have this, guys. Let's just get our backs against the wall. Let's hope and pray that we get one on the counter. This team ain't built like that no more.
So
this team are not built like that.
Right. You know what? You're right, Rio, man. I'm with you. Even I'm not as optimistic as you, but I am still with you,
I think
man.
deluded was the word
3
you're
lions
looking
on
for.
the shirt, man. I'm with Rio. Listen, come on, Rio. Come on.
No matter what happens, I need to watch the game with you on Saturday because I'm just going to watch you watch the game.
You're such a hater. Hopefully we win. Listen, we got more shows coming out on 5 this week. Make sure you stay tuned. Myself and Steve. I'm going
to see if Uncle Pat can get me a ticket in the French end.
Yes.
Ale, ale.
Oi, by the way, I've had a bet with Pat.
What,
big bet.
Make sure you, what's the bet? And make sure you pay up.
Big bet.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll tell you. I'm sure he'll tell you on the next show. But we've had a big bet.
Let's save it for then. Oh, I just want to say to you guys that we almost couldn't do Vibe 5, but because of you guys, the audience, we made sure we did it. So even though we're not in our normal World Cup studio, we made sure we turned up. So don't turn around and go, oh, where's the studio settings? Like, we will be back in our studio settings. We just couldn't miss.
Are you saying Tom's Lounge isn't as good as our Starship Enterprise?
Mate, listen, we've done the best we can here. Turned the screen into a studio. Rio's, in his living room, kitchen. We are committed to bringing the content to the audience. We will be back in our studio. And we got other shows coming out, right? So we got myself and Steve. We're going in the desert, riding camels, doing quizzes. We got Rio's vlog coming out as well. Absolutely amazing stuff yesterday. We went out to
the Falcons because
hilarious, man. Hilarious
Bro,
stuff. We went out into the city with Rio.
Falcon, I think the Falcon shitted on my shoe, man.
It was hilarious, guys. We've got content, so you got to switch on the
notifications. You lot aren't even going to understand how dear Falcons are.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Oh my gosh, honestly, that's why 5 is the place to be. Football, culture, vibes. We got the lot. Saying that, Joe Beya, Stephen Howson, Rio Ferdinand, England winning the World Cup. Signing out. Peace.